Alright, so what follows is a video recording of the first draft that I decided to record. This will be on July 3rd, 2015. It's going to be a 4-player draft. We're drafting out of the birthday cube. The link obviously is on CubeTutor. As you can see, I'm setting out 9 cards. We draft 5 packs of 9 cards. Thoughts as I look through the pack is really like Pestermite, really like Electrolyze, really like Spymaster. Wanted to take the Electrolyze, but worried about the fact that there were going to be, 3 more very high quality red cards. Shrine of Loyal Legions is good, but there's no white in the pack. So it really comes down to Electrolyze or Eldritch Spymaster of Trest. And as I am just dying to put this guy into play, that's what I go with. Alright, second pack here. Think Twice is good. I love the Vivid Lands. I like Repeal. And Troll Ascetic. So I think for me it comes down to the Vivid Land or Troll Ascetic pretty quickly. Really, I've got plenty of time on the land, and I take Spymaster first, so I'm looking for blue-green, so Troll Ascetic just seems like a slam dunk. He's just so hard to deal with. Maybe the land will come back, but if not, then, Think Twice and Repeal are in the pack. It's the third pack. I like Browbeat. I like Temple of the False God. Faithless Looting is okay. Serrated Arrows. This early in a cube draft, I'm going to take the colorless removal or the colorless fixing. Too many times I've taken, a couple cards in a certain color, first few picks, and then get tied to it and it gets cut off. So I've learned to be flexible. So the Serrated Arrows here is what I'm going to pick. Probably not the best card in the pack. I like Browbeat a lot. Faithless Looting is good. Read the Bones is fantastic, but Arrows does not commit me to any additional colors, and it's good removal against people that like to play 1 toughness creatures. Let's pick 4. It's the last pack I don't see, and there's a Capsize and Ninja of the Deep Hours. You see, I immediately pull Ninja. I'm a huge fan of Ninja of the Deep Hours. There is, of course, a Doomblade in the pack, but as I've learned in cube drafting, you shouldn't take removal over things that just change the game, and I think Ninja falls into that category. He's just very, very good. Back to the pack I opened originally. Pestermite's still there, and that's a pretty slam dunk. 3 power flash, or 3 casting cost flash, 2 power flyer with a neat come to play ability. This is a slam dunk. Next up, we're looking at either Think Twice or Repeal. And they both say draw a card. I got to thinking about it, and I just thought that, I would have a lot of 3 casting cost cards in my deck, so I figured I would take Think Twice to cast on 2 mana, and then late game flash it back. Winding down in pack 1. 3 cards left. They're all playable. I think I take Read the Bones here, just because I don't want to play against it, and it's very easy to splash, if I start getting past wave after wave of black cards shortly. As a Faithless Looting's fine if you're in red. Hello. Capsize came back. See the thumbs up there. Pretty excited about it. And last card in the pack is Sulphur Falls, which is good because, you know, I like blue-red. Would have liked the Electrolyze, but, you know, here we go. Just a little note to myself. We're starting pack 2. I know I'd be doing voiceover here. Let's see. Mother of Runes is great. There's a Wrath in the pack. Another white bomb. That's Angel of Serenity, I think. Gargantua is good. I really like the land. I think I probably should have taken the land. I don't really remember this pick. I think I take Recoil here. I don't have any black cards except Read the Bones, but Recoil is just so good. Puts a card back in their hand, makes them discard, just kind of stumbles them. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I take Recoil here, although I really want the land to come back. Probably should have taken the land and then pick up Explore when it comes back around. But it's fine. It was early in the draft, and I just want to make sure I had something. Next pack is Zealous Conscripts right off the bat. Memory Lapse I like a lot. See pretty immediately I just go to those two cards. I'm not in red, but Conscripts, you know, it's turn 5 or later, so I feel like I could splash red. I do have the Sulphur Falls, so I have the ability to get red mana late game if I need it. You know, hopefully pick up a little bit of fixing, and I think Conscripts is just fine. It just does so much. I love Memory Lapse, but I think that's right to take Conscripts there. Here's the next pack. I start doing a lot of jump cuts here where I'll turn the camera off and then turn it back on for the new packs just to save time in the middle, because to be honest, I'm drafting a lot faster than other people, and there's a lot of times that I'll just, you know, pause and wait. Anyway, you see this pack. Lower Scale Codal is good. Plus some counters whenever you draw cards. But there's a Disfigure, and again, because I kind of poisoned my draft earlier when I took that Recoil, because I had taken the Read the Bones, and Read the Bones was late. I didn't really, you know, need it per se, but it's like I got a late Read the Bones, so then I got Recoil, and now I'm looking at, you know, Disfigure. Come to think of it, outside of Doomblade, I haven't seen any good black cards, so again, I kind of spread them out. It's a blue-green guy, the black removal, and then Evolving Wilds. You see me taking Disfigure. I guess I'm thinking about it a lot, but I end up taking the Disfigure. Alright, next pack. Clever Impersonator. Trusty Machete's good. Naturalize is fine. It's probably too early to be taking Naturalize. But Clever Impersonator just seems like he does so much, and you know, I'm in blue. I like playing kind of tricky stuff, so that's fine. It's a pack bag, and you see I kind of make a angry fist there. I was wanting the Tri-Land to come back, but it didn't. You know, maybe I should have taken a Recoil over it, then I could have got the Tri-Land and Explore. It looks like I make a big deal out of Wolfear Avenger here, and I think he's fine. I think 3 mana flash for a 3/3 is great. And he even regenerates. But Troll Aesthetic's just better than he is. Anyway, maybe I want the Explorer there. It draws a card. Next pack, I grabbed the Memory Lapse. It's the same pack that had the Zealous Conscripts in it, so I kind of got both cards I wanted. Here it comes down to a good combat trick or a land. Alpha's fine. You know, any green creature with flash, you just kind of trick your opponents, make some good blocks. But I take the land, and I think that's fine because I know I'm splashing. I'm going to play that Conscript. Naturalize, you know, it's perfectly fine. Now the red-blue guy's good. He gives me back an instant, but I like having answers to artifacts and enchantments, especially in Cube. Last pick, Mother of Runes, is insane. That means that there's no one in white. or at least in the white aggressive decks that would want her. We're on to pack 3. But then again, in Cube, that's the thing that happens sometimes, because it's a small amount of drafters that maybe we don't see enough cards of a certain color or enough cards of a certain archetype to make it able to be drafted. This pack has a lot of lands in it, which is fine. Route, which I love, and Kodama's Reach. And Prismatic Lens. It's basically like all color fixing and a Wrath. I'm green-blue. That's what I want to be. Kodama's Reach is fantastic. It's a 3-mana sorcery. Lets you go get 2 basic lands out of your deck, put 1 into play tapped and 1 in your hand. Really trying to break myself with saying that into play thing, because I guess now the game term is enter the battlefield, but I don't guess that matters. See, I pull Kodama's Reach to the top. Like I say, it's fine. 3 mana, fix your lands, accelerate you by a turn. Kind of lets me cheat, a 3rd color into the deck. Makes it a lot easier to cast conscripts when I need to. Oh, so there's plenty of fixing. I'll get at least 1 more piece of it back. See me counting out the pack here, make sure there's the right number of cards. Hello! You see the hand sign there. What in the world did they take and pass me Sol Ring? It's just fantastic. I don't know if it's too strong for the cube or not, but it seems like there's not a lot you would take over it, just plus 2 mana basically. So, I mean, turn 1 Sol Ring, turn 2 you're on 4 mana. Seems fair. There's not anything that really just blows me away for my deck here. So I take the Obsidat Ghost Council. It's a 5-mana 5/5, comes into play. Opponent loses 2 life, you gain 2 life, and then you can choose to exile it each turn, so it just keeps coming back. I just didn't feel like my deck could beat it, so I took it away. Really like Enclave Cryptologist. Porcelain Legionnaire is good in every deck. I think I'm one of the few guys in our local draft pool that will just play it and pay the 2 mana for the Phyrexia cost. So, we take Enclave Cryptologist there, excuse me. Every blue player likes drawing cards. Here's the pack that had all the lands in it. Here was land, route, and Kodama's Reach. I think for a while about taking route. I'm kind of worried about, because I know Supreme Verdict is out there, and now route, so it's like, are there too many wraths? And then, I see the green creature that says destroy an artifact when it comes into play, so I figure I'll just, if they got the wrath, they got the wrath. I don't know if that's right or not, but I don't know. William J. Bender makes his way back. Will Bender, one of my favorite morphs. I look at Mistraven for a while, but I think Will Bender's just better because kind of the people I'm playing this draft with, 2 out of the 3 are newer to the game. And so they're kind of still in that mentality of like, oh, I have a card, I'll play the card immediately. So I feel like with Willbender, I can do a lot of tricks. If they play a creature, I can play it as a morph, and then they'll immediately try to kill my guy, and I'll just hit theirs with it. So metagame thinking, maybe, but it's good. Satyr's still here. Like I say, there's some good aggressive cards in the cube. I'm not on an aggressive plan this time. It comes down to Ratchet Bomb, but I haven't seen a lot of token generators. And Vines of Vastwood, which just, counters a removal spell. I don't even think I end up playing Vines, so probably a wasted pick there. Legionnaire is back late, or, a land I'm not going to play, so pretty easy Legionnaire here. I know he ends up in the deck. I know he says white too, but it's Phyrexian mana, so it's just pay 2 life, pay 2 mana, get a 3/1 first striker. And Hallowed Fountain. You go to 4, you see my note there, like to ask Evelyn what in the world she picked over Sol Ring. And at present, I don't even really remember. Pack 4 out of 5. Again, we're doing 5 packs of 9, just because we have 4 players. Anger of the Gods, pretty decent wrath. Swords Plowshares is amazing. I'm just not in white. Crystal Shard is one of my favorite cards in the cube. It's very fun to abuse with coming to play, guys. It does so much. Saves your men from removal. do some combat stuff. You see, after I see the crystal shard, I go back through my draft pool, and I'm like, all right, do I have enough guys that have come into play abilities that I want to reuse? Basically trying to talk myself into drafting crystal shard. But, you know, Sphinx's Revelation is also ridiculous. The Revelation ends up making it into my deck. I played one Mountain, one Plains, a couple of the non-basic lands to get me those color manas as well, and I was able to splash for Revelation. You see there, I'm like, I don't even think it's the right pick taking Shard over Revelation, but I'm kind of hoping it comes back. You know, spoilers. Demonic Tutor's fantastic. Glasskite or Orion Viper, really just a personal preference thing. I think in my deck, like I want Orion Viper, I want to draw cards. Also, Death Touch is scary to some players. You know, they'll take damage they shouldn't take because they don't want their creatures to die. So I think Orion Viper is completely fine. I had a bunch of fun. You see, I'm wanting Urban Evolution back. The old draw 3 cards for 5 mana, put an extra land into play. And it's like, oh, Loxodon Warhammer. I'm not sure what they took over. There's 7 cards in this pack, so this will be the third one out of here. So 2 drafters out of the other 3, you know, because it's a 4-man table, but 2 of them have seen it, and they found things that they liked better than Loxodon Warhammer. I don't really know. I'm pointing at Dismiss there, saying, you know, I kind of want to get the Dismiss back, but Warhammer is the obvious choice. I mean, it's just decks that are going to try to, you know, win with the attack step. They can't beat Loxodon Warhammer. Next pack, not really a lot for me. I remember thinking, I'm like, you know, there's nothing here. Do I take away Raise the Alarm? Do I take Madcap Skills? There's an outside chance I could play Madcap Skills. I was reading it to see, you know. I thought for a minute about taking away the Lifelink guy. I take Madcap Skills. I think that's fine. You know, if things go really bad, I'll end up playing it, but let's see. Revelation made it back, and Plow, so this happens with 4-player drafts. You know, you just get a chance to see a bunch of good cards come back. And again, there's some new players at the table, so maybe they don't understand that Swords to Plowshares is just ridiculously above curve as far as power level. I think I take Omen Speaker here over both Sprout Swarm and Force Spike. I think Force Spike is probably the second best of the cards, and Sprout Swarm is just ridiculous, especially as long as my games went. I take Omen Speaker, which is fine because I'm wanting to scry. You know, I'm thinking I'm in 3 colors, so it helps set me up. A couple of lands I'm not going to play, and a Probe. So, you know, I grab the Probe. It might be the 23rd card in my deck. Not that it's very good, just that, you know, draw 3, discard 2 is fine if I need to dig. Lifelink guy came back, and Prey Upon. Prey Upon's the kind of card, you know, you play in a deck with really big green creatures. And last pick, Anger of the Gods. So, like I said, it's 4-player draft. See my note there about the Warhammer. I just kind of gave him the business after the draft. I'm like, why are you passing me bombs? Sol Ring and Warhammer, which do a lot of work. And they let that capsize get back to me. But like I say, it's really interesting to watch. You know, this is like several of these people have drafted less than 10 times, and they've gotten, you know, demonstrably better in the last few months. So I'm excited. Like, I'm ready to get to a draft and go 0-2, you know what I'm saying? Just get blown out by my friends. Like, I think that'll be kind of perfect. Looking at Trigon Predator here. I'm fascinated by Trigon Predator. He's really good. Destroying artifacts and enchantments every turn with Flyer. And I'm in the colors for him. Kind of when Vapor Snag comes back, but spoilers, it doesn't. Dunner of a Horror is a fun card. Towering Invocation, I don't know. Some people like it. It just doesn't seem good enough. I get fascinated by Cunning Spark Mage for some reason here. I don't remember if I take it or Firebolt. I know I had both of them in my deck. Probably take the Firebolt first. That would make more sense to me watching this video. Yeah, I take the Firebolt. And now I'm pointing at Towern's Invocation. I must be ridiculous. The old upside down pack. There's Jace's Ingenuity. 5 mana, draw 3 cards, and Jiraga Tree Speaker. So I can tell you pretty quickly, like, it's, yeah. You see me on the video agreeing with me doing commentary. Jace's Ingenuity. Just drawing 3 cards is ridiculously powerful. Especially because my opponents haven't got to the point where they're just like, you know, throwing out crazy spells yet, so I feel like I have time. This pick I'm pointing at, you know, 2 mana Death Touch. It's kind of like removal for green. And then a Tarka Monument. I don't think a Tarka Monument's that strong, but it's 3 mana, it taps for red or green, so, you know, green's the primary color in my deck, so it's acceleration, but also I can get red, which means I get to play Zealous Conscripts a little easier. I'm kind of hoping the Daily Recluse comes back, I guess, is what I'm pointing at there. But I take a Tarka Monument. The 6 mana turn into a dragon ability, you know, worked one time in the draft, but most of the time it was just acceleration. It was fine. Fixing, Pride Mage, Pit Fight, Unflinching Courage is really good. That's just Armadillo Cloak, and then Leaf Crown Dryad. I'm not really liking a lot of these Bestow guys. I do want to get my hands on Boon Satyr and Gnarled Scarhide, but some of the Bestow creatures just have not, you know, been as cool as I thought they would be. But that's maybe a topic for another day. The cube's at 540 cards, which is the maximum I want to have it at. That's kind of like the top end of the medium cube size. I guess I took the Tri-Land there. That would make sense. I've been watching my own draft. Cunning Spark Mage comes back. He looks good. After the draft, when I was building my deck, I ended up cutting him. He just didn't seem good enough. And Jiraga Tree Speaker's back. 1 mana for an elf. Turn 2, you can pay 2 mana to level him up, and then you can tap him to get those 2 mana right back. So it doesn't really cost you anything, except, you know, he's just going to make a lot of green mana, so it doesn't help on the blue, but he was fine all day. I like Jiraga Tree Speaker. Winding down here. Get the Death Touch creature. I don't even know if he made it in the final deck, though. And I just kind of fan out my picks here. I believe these are actually in order. See, I'm heavy blue-green. Conscripts, more blue, more green. A couple cards scattered here and there. You know, the hate draft on Obzadad, Ghost Council. Warhammer. Pretty happy with my list. Kasali Pride Mage finished up. Like I say, I ended up 3-0ing this draft with a blue-green splash red.